Well, hello, my soul friends. You might be wondering, why is she sitting in the dark? Well, it is winter solstice here in the northern hemisphere, December 21st. And I'm recording this in 2024, and solstice, the exact moment was 1:21 a.m. That specific time. Of course, it's not just winter solstice, it's summer solstice for those in the southern hemisphere. But I'm going to talk about more about winter solstice, this natural cycle of nature that invites us into a deepening of our own true nature. It's the shortest day and the longest night, and it has to do with being quiet and still. And I think that this is not what we like to do in the busyness of this time of the year. And also just the way that we're so conditioned to be active, proactive, and, busy, busy, busy. So I love winter solstice. I love the invitation to turn within. Of course, I think that invitation is every day and needed when we most need it, right? But the quieting of winter. It's the first day of winter. It is the first day of Capricorn season, which I love to put those together, and I will in just a moment. But it's a time when we get to harvest the lessons from the year we just grew through. So this is where it does apply to all. It's just solstice. It's a pause point. A time to, I like to say, harvest the gifts, the lessons learned, that becomes wisdom earned. Do you allow yourself time to do that? It's the richest harvest you can do. I know this is a time when many are bustling about buying presents and disconnecting from one's own physical needs, but mostly our soul needs. Our soul needs time for focus and listening. I love that the word silent is the same as the word listen. I mean, the letters are the same if you move them around. To go silent and listen, to turn within and prepare to welcome the light. So it's also a good time to, as you harvest the gifts, to plant those seeds of intention. So isn't it interesting how all these cycles of nature mirror the man-made sort of rituals and like the New Year resolutions. I think that winter solstice is the time for reflection and intention, personally. Okay, so I have a little poem from Wendell Berry that can take us into the feeling of winter solstice. And I wonder how this time of the year feels for you. And I wonder if you create some space for you. I know that can be very hard, especially if you're a parent, you've got a lot going on, you're caring for elders, you're caring for anyone, and your focus is so external with work and all the things that you do in your life. So if you take nothing away from this video, it's just a kind reminder that you matter, and nurturing your soul matters. And if you can only take 5 minutes to sit and just ask yourself, how was this year for me? And what is still calling to me? What did I learn? I have a end of year reflection video I did last year. It's just a meditation. It's not me on camera. But I'll put that in the description box. Maybe you can carve out a little bit more time for yourself. That's about a 40-minute process. I know. Who has 40 minutes right now? Well, if you don't, take 5, take 10. You're worth it, right? Okay. To Know the Dark by Wendell Berry. To go in the dark with a light is to know the light. To know the dark, go dark without sight, and find that the dark too blooms and sings and is traveled by dark feet and dark wings. I love poetry because right now some of you are going, what? What does that mean? And maybe just one line really sung to you. And maybe you can sit with it a little bit. But I guess the question is, what does it mean for you to go dark without sight? And the invitation is that you will find that in the dark there blooms and sings. Well, I think the soul blooms and sings when you go still and you allow the time to be present to what is wanting to be experienced by you, welcomed by you, honored by you. Yes, we are light and darkness. We lead with our light. We tend to share all the positive moments of our life, but we are also darkness. And it is in our darkness that there's potency. And that is where things grow, in the dark, right? Okay, so yes, here we are, the winter season in the northern hemisphere where everything lies dormant and the earth is silent. It's sacred time. It's sacred harvest time. And it's a time when we can allow ourselves to feel, to experience all of who we are. You know, that's what we suppress in the darkness too, right? We want to put on the happy faces, especially during the holiday seasons. But it's important to be present, to listen, and let that be your gift to yourself, and allow your feelings to be the guide forward. What are you feeling? What are you noticing? What are they communicating? What wants your attention? So I wanted to mention that in Latin, the word solstice is made of two words: sol, meaning the sun, and sistere, meaning to make stand or still. It's the time of the year where one of the points of the axis of the earth pauses. This is when I'm looking at my notes because I'm not remembering the top of my head, so I'm going to read this. For 3 days around the solstice points, we experience the power of the standstill point and the shift of direction. So the sun standing still is like a metaphor for the energy of stillness that is before us as we prepare to shift gears, as we prepare to move into a new year. So this falls with the Gregorian calendar, right? The man-made decision to honor the new year in January. So I love how natural cycles weave into our modern world, right? So give yourself permission to just rest a little in the stillness. So what I like to do is I like to turn off all the lights and just sit in stillness. You know me, I love candles, I love the light, but to sit in the darkness, to sit in the stillness, to sit with yourself and your soul, and just ask. I mean, maybe, again, you can look at the longer version of reflections, but you can just ask some reflection questions like, what was my greatest challenge this year? What strengths and gifts did I cultivate during this year? What do I need to sit with to learn from a little bit longer? And I would invite you just to create some of your own questions. You know, it's not me telling you what to do. It's what does your soul want to guide you to do? Maybe just this question, and these can be, you can journal this, or you can just sit still with your hand on your heart. What does my soul want me to know? What can I no longer avoid? I must pay attention and learn from it and grow from it, and then do something different with it. So I mentioned it, you know, it's Capricorn season. So happy birthday to my Capricorn soul friends. First of all, I'll do a new moon video soon, but Capricorn is about taking responsibility, being productive, creating structure. So as we weave that into the winter solstice, it is accountability. It's what do I need to take responsibility for? What can I do differently? What do I need to build into my day-to-day life to allow myself to be more productive, or to allow myself to be more purposeful, which is also very Capricornian. Okay. So, and you may do a ritual. Rituals are a beautiful way to honor and to weave your mind, body, and soul into the present moment with conscious awareness and conscious creation, right? So let's see if I have anything else I wanted to say to you. Well, okay, so it is the shortest day, the longest night, and then we're welcoming the light back. From this moment forward, I think it's like a minute a day, we'll have a little bit more light every day until we get to summer solstice, which is the longest day and the shortest night, and a returning of energy and vitality. So do you give yourself permission to rest and reflect? I really am curious. I know we're so conditioned to be productive, and we're not productive. Maybe some of our old negative core beliefs come up, like questioning if you're good enough, questioning if you're doing enough. Enough with the enough. Like I work with so many people. That's like one of the core negative beliefs. Am I doing enough? Am I enough? It's really closely related to, am I good enough? Right? So enough with the enough. You are enough. You're doing enough. You have enough. I pray that you have enough. And now you have enough wisdom to make different choices, to plant the seeds for the new year coming, for how you want to return your light into the world in a stronger, more powerful way, perhaps a more radiant way, a more unlimited way. Okay? Your light is needed more than ever. I want to read one more poem as we prepare to return to the light. And I want to invite you to get a candle as I close out this little video with one more poem. I do want to invite you to just light the candle with me at the end here, blow it out. But this is what I do when I do my reflection. So, or you can do it later. Sit in the darkness, or go into if you're in nature, you live close to nature, go into the woods in the darkness, and maybe bring a headlamp and just sit in the darkness, in the stillness for a little bit. It's like a reset. That's it. It's a reset for your body, mind, and soul. A reset. A harvest, a gathering, and a reset. And readying, preparing to return to more light, to bring more of your light. Okay? So we'll light a candle at the end here together, or I'll do it to symbolize bringing back the light. But first, I'm going to read this poem by David White. And I want to just on a note say, gosh, I'm curious how much you've been growing through this last year. It's been a doozy. And I myself am growing in such a way that, things are going to be very different for me next year. Very different. And I wonder if you're feeling the same. I wonder if you're feeling a greater call to bring more of your light, to no longer hide your light, or hide your voice, or hide your purpose, right? But first, we kind of just let ourselves be still. In the stillness, we grow the power to empower the purpose, to empower our voices, to empower our light. Okay? Is any of this making sense? I don't know. This was a spontaneous. I was like, oh my gosh, I wanted to do this yesterday, and here we are, the actual day of the solstice. So, okay. This is a poem by David White that really speaks to me. It's called Sweet Darkness. When your eyes are tired and the world, let me start again. Okay. When you reset, you get to start over too. Okay. When your eyes are tired, the world is tired also. When your vision has gone, no part of the world can find you. Time to go into the dark, where the night has eyes to recognize its own. There you can be sure you are not beyond love. The dark will be your womb tonight. The night will give you a horizon further than you can see. You must learn one thing. The world was made to be free in. Give up the other worlds, accept the one to which you belong. Sometimes it takes darkness and the sweet confinement of aloneness to learn anything or anyone that does not bring you alive is too small for you. I would add anything that does not bring you alive, any thought, any belief, any pattern, any commitments you have where you feel stuck, you feel small, you feel limited, you feel unlike your soul essence. I feel like, this is an invitation to get connected to your soul essence. What does your soul need to bring more of your potential, your light? Anything else is too small for you. It's grow out of those limitations, okay? So my wish for you is that you allow time for rest and restoration and connection to your soul, to sit in the darkness, to awaken your light. And together we will rise with our own unique and beautiful lights. Blessings for this winter solstice. Thank you for being with me. Peace be with you.